Hello viewers, in the previous video I recorded of this machine, there was a concern I underscored regarding the way the coils were sitting inside the case. And summer is approaching and potential use cases for this machine may show up, and I want to have it ready to go. I am deeply concerned about the way this is sitting inside the case. So I want to see if I can evaluate this a little further and potentially fix it if it's a problem. And this right here is what I was referring to. The coils, the loops, are completely jammed up against the side of this. Meanwhile, on the other side there is about a quarter inch or so to spare. And there is some styrofoam on this side, which of course is to prevent the case from getting cold and condensating as well. But the loop should not be up against the styrofoam. So let's see if we can get this thing apart and evaluate why exactly it's like that, and hopefully correct it. The removal of just that one screw released a lot of tension, and you can see now, at least at the bottom, it's actually away from it now. So I think something may be bent inside of here somewhere. Okay, so as it turns out, my theory was completely correct, and this is bent. This is totally bent outwards by, I would say, at least a quarter inch. Let's see here to grab a straight edge. So this is, can't even get this level up against here because of how bent it is, but you can see here, I'll hold it straight up against this part. You can see the bend in it, and it's like it on this side as well. It's bent inwards. There, that's a good angle. You can see that pretty good there. So I have to figure out how to fix this. Of course, very, very carefully, whatever I do. I'm going to analyze this for a little while and see what I can come up with. I'm seeing two more problems here. Number one is this is attached very loosely, and so this can freely move and vibrate up against each other here. Very loose. And this is right up against here. So that also could be a problem. So I'm going to have to correct those two things, as well as correcting the bend in it. Okay, that will resolve it to my satisfaction. It's still not perfectly straight, but I did test fit the cage, and it's going to be okay. You can see the damage it's done over the years from vibrating up against that styrofoam. It doesn't look like it's worn it down enough to really have caused a leak, but it definitely could have over time. And another thing to show to prove the theory is, if we look up here in the front, of course this doesn't matter because it's insulated, but if I pull this wire up here from where the insulation was, you can see how it's actually kind of cut into the insulation, and that's from the vibration of the compressor. Come on, unblur. This is important. There you go, you can see it pretty good there. So, anyways, I don't know what this is. I guess it must be a defrost sensor, perhaps? I don't know. It goes to the controls. It's got to be a defrost thing. So anyways, I moved this away, so that's fine now. I tightened this down. I'm contemplating just removing this, so letting it sit there freely. I don't see why that would be a problem. I don't know. Anyways, while it's open up, we'll give it a test run. Oh, and what I ended up doing to bend it back, on this side I took a hammer and I kind of put it in there like this, and I pulled it really hard, and that bent that side into place. And then on this side, I took this piece of duct strap, and I put it up here like this, and I pulled on the fan shroud and the other side of the case like this, and that kind of bent that back into place. Neither of those are really the best methods to use, but they worked, and sometimes you have to improvise when it's one person working on it. I cut some cardboard pieces to block the air from going in outside of through the coils. So we'll give it a test run here and see what it transpires. So much for a good startup sound video, all that stinking rattling. Oh well. I don't like the sound of that compressor. It is working. I don't know if this is just an illusion or what, but it feels like it's still not cold, but it feels like it's getting colder than it was last time. The fan motor looks like it's a little bit vibrating. The blade's probably not in perfect balance. No oil ports on the motor, which is disappointing unless they put it on. Definitely no oil ports. I don't know why this is vibrating so much. Yeah, you know what? It is getting colder. It's fairly humid today, so it should start condensating relatively quickly. Maybe it is just an illusion. I thought it seemed like it was getting a little colder than that. The ambient in here is about 72, I guess. Though it is cooling, I don't know. Oh let it run for a little while and we'll come back and check on it. Fairly content with how it's operating at this point. It's still a little bit cooler, warmer up at the top, but to some extent that's going to be expected, that it's pulling the coldness out of the coil, because it starts at the bottom and goes up to the top, so it is going to be a little bit warmer at the top. Well, the whole coil feels kind of cold and it's definitely wet, so I think it's working correctly. I'm not so sure that it's out of charge. I think it may be okay. I don't think that reading is right, because this is I can't even keep my hand on it. That's really hot. It's not 90 degrees or whatever this thing is claiming it is. The condenser is working pretty well. It's almost ambient by the time it reaches the end. I think it's good. Alright, I'm going to cut it off. Okay, it sounds like the head pressure has gone down. Try to get a good startup sound this time. Alright, let's begin reassembling. The coils do need to be cleaned, but I'm not going to do that today. You know what? This may not be fixed enough. definitely okay at the bottom, but I think the top row is still going to be an issue. Okay, I think I've got it this time. I ended up bending the cage itself a little bit, which I know is kind of crossing over into the cringy realm, but I don't know what else to do at this point. So I'm going to screw this on and see if I can get it to stay where I want it to. Okay, I think that'll do it. It's all assembled. Once I put that plastic cover on, I think it's going to draw it in to be like that. But even then, it's still not contacting the loops. So I think we'll consider that repaired. The next video will be the cleaning of the coils. And then after we do that, we'll do some dehumidification tests.